Hey guys, it's Benjamin Zamish, author of Creating Freedom and the founder of Move, Learn, Create, and welcome back to Thematic Serenity, where I'm helping people to become more receptive to the magic that is available in this life, available to us as human beings as we make our way through this wondrous experience on this indescribable world that we get to call our own. So this is episode 21. And we're going to talk about how good does it get? Is this all too good to be true? Really, we need to talk because we're making some claims here. We've been saying some stuff and we need to address this. So, do you ever wonder if for you in your life, do you wonder if your goals are too ambitious, right? Are your dreams too wild? Are your desires too grandiose? I remember being told when I was like 21 maybe, this woman told me, she heard me talking about my ambitions and my desire and what I really thought was possible in this life. And she said, delusions of grandeur are a sign of mental illness. And she wasn't very wrong, which is funny. But, you know, maybe you feel like you're chasing something that's too good to be true, you know, where you're wondering, how good can it get really? And sometimes I feel like, or I have felt like definitely, that the world is trying to sell me an experience. You know, I'll watch a video or see an ad or whatever, and it hooks my attention, but then my better sense kicks in and it's like, I feel like I'm being, sold an experience that nobody is actually having. You know, is anyone actually living this way? Is anyone actually that happy? And I used to catch myself, you know, I'd see it and I'd catch myself thinking like, oh my God, that's amazing. You know, that's incredible. Wow, look at them. Look at that picture. Look at this display of joy or whatever it is that gets so many likes. You know, look how incredible that is. And then I'd catch myself and be like, wait. And I'd have to begrudgingly admit to myself that I have witnessed plenty of people in my life, you know, reach the point where I thought I would be fulfilled or, you know, attain or acquire the things that I for so long thought would bring me happiness. And I got to be honest and admit to myself that these people are not showing any signs of bliss. Like none at all. You know, they don't seem to be any better off, and in a lot of cases they're you know, very much the opposite, because what they found is not what they looked for, and or what they were looking for, you know. But now there's so much momentum and so much time has gone by, and there's really been a sacrifice here, and that is very difficult to reconcile, and most people don't. So they kind of stick, you know, they stay within the boundaries of this mental framework that they're no longer willing to challenge because they've already put so much work in to get to a point that, you know, really wasn't it. So we don't want that to happen to us. Like, let's just be thankful that we're still, you know, in the struggle and we can recalibrate a little bit. It's not like we have to admit, you know, some massive error or something like that. We're just struggling. It's fine. So it becomes really hard to truly commit to our ambitions, to really dive in head first and go after our dreams, you know, to our passion pursuits, to the things that really stir our energy, you know, that quicken our spirit and enliven our heart. It's hard to go all into that when we're not even really sure if it's as good as we'll hope, you know, we hope it'll be, if it will be as good as we hope. So the truth here is that nobody can make these decisions for you. Nobody can tell you. I can't like grant you permission. You know, that's not possible for us anymore. The way we are today, like, you're never going to give somebody else sovereignty over your beliefs ever. You're never going to take someone's word for it when it concerns your life. You may feel like you are in your mind, but if you actually analyze your actions and look at the way you're truly living, if you go through the processes that show you that, you know, like like my courses, for instance, that will give you that kind of clarity, you're going to see that when it comes to your life, you are only going to do what makes sense to you at a deep level. You are the gatekeeper. You know, it has to make sense to you. More and more now in the world for us, it's become much less about the credibility of the source when we're getting information, or you know, it used to be that authority ruled. If someone had the right letters after their name, or were at a you know, spoke from a particular platform, you know, the older generation would just take their word for it. They would just kind of follow behind the leader. But we do not do that anymore. And the reason is because we all have access to so much information. So it's much less now about the credibility of the source and much more about how deeply does the thing resonate with us. That's where, you know, change happens. When we take the time and we sit with something to find out truly for us, how deeply does this resonate? And that's what I'm hoping is happening for many of you as you go through these processes with me each week, because these really are each an individual process. This is not just your average video. These are put together deliberately for a reason. So I'm very glad you're here participating. And once you find the right voice, you know, and it has to be the right voice. The same thing can be spoken by 20 different people, you know, and you'll dismiss 19 of them, but then one of them will get you. It has to be the right voice for you. Once you hear the truth spoken from the right voice and spoken in a way that kind of cuts through all of our preconceptions and our intellectual prejudices, because we have invested ourselves so much in our mind into certain structures and frameworks of knowledge. Once we can cut through that, we can't deny what we feel. You know, we're very much aware enough now as a human, you know, a human race. When we really feel it, we can't deny it. So, and then once that happens and it really resonates within us in a powerful way, we no longer need to hold ourselves back. You know, we don't have to hesitate and hold ourselves back when we can take ownership of, you know, a piece of knowledge and really make it a part of our being, when we know that the journey is worth it. When we feel it in ourselves, then we give ourselves permission. We no longer need permission from the world. We go out after it because we feel it. And that is the tremendous, or one of the innumerable tremendous upsides of the way that we are now in the state of the world. It's a little difficult and taking some adjusting, you know, some catching up to, but really the benefits of living this way, where we can all kind of be the gatekeeper for our own truth. This is a phenomenal opportunity. So definitely, you know, the time is now to take charge of your own journey. And so once we know the journey is worth it, once we grant ourselves permission and we go for it, then we don't need to slow down and wrestle with our fears. You know, we begin to understand how powerful we truly are, and we get to move forward and get traction in a very, very real way. This can happen extremely quickly once you actually do the work to cultivate the clarity. So you're not going to have to wrestle with your fears any longer. You're not going to have to question whether or not you're wasting time, or weigh your sacrifice against the hopes of some future reward. That all goes out the window once you've learned how to embrace the magic of the life process in the now. Okay, it's not that we're not going somewhere. It's not that we don't have a direction. It's not that we're not moving steadily towards some unimaginable, you know, reality. Those things are still very real, but our experience is one of intense involvement with the magic of the life process now. So all of the uncertainty and the chances for letdown and all of those things, or wasted time or whatever, just goes out the window, because it's about the now, it's about the journey. And so, you know, in so many aspects of the human experience, basically every video that I do, I address fear in you know, at least one way. And because fear is this ever-present, incredibly disempowering variable that plays such a huge role for us as human beings and affects almost everything that we do. And with what we're talking about today, whether or not the journey is worth it, whether it's actually, worth it to go all in and chase your dreams, on the surface it's going to look like fear is going to be the most important factor, the most significant variable in figuring this out. But I'm hoping to offer a perspective for you, or I'm going to offer a perspective to you, I hope it resonates, that just completely removes fear from the picture. I want to look at this in a way that just takes fear out of the equation entirely. So let's do this. When we talk about our goals, okay, our ambitions, our wildest dreams, whatever it is, when I make a comment about your mighty mission, or your passion project, all of these words that we use to try to reference this trendy vision of our best life, it's all just psychological. It's absolutely necessary that you understand that this is all just psychological. Our goals and our visions exist in our minds. They are products of memory and imagination. We're just pulling from what we know in our memory, what we've been exposed to, and then we're rearranging it in a way with our imagination, in a way that appears new to us. But it's all in the mind, and it's amazing. It's incredible, and I'm so grateful to be here as a human experience, with the freedom to transcend survival and create a life for myself in such a beautiful and phenomenally complex and intricate way. I'm so thankful to have a mind that is capable of producing the phenomenon of personality, of likes and dislikes, of fear and courage, and all of these structures on which we build our world. I'm so grateful for it, literally overflowing every day with gratitude for these things, unspeakable amounts of gratitude for these things. But I am aware that it's just the mind. I'm not dismissing it, saying, oh, that's just the mind, it doesn't matter. I'm saying that when seen, on the backdrop of the entire human experience, now, it's definitely just the mind. It's phenomenal. It's amazing, and I can't stop talking about how incredible it is. But believe me, it's just the mind compared to the rest of what is available to you as a human being. So it boils down to this statement. And life is not built upon the frameworks of the mind. Okay? And when I say life, I'm not talking about your job and your relationships and everything. I'm talking about life, the actual process, the phenomenon of life that is allowing all these things to happen. What it is that you're actually seeking knowledge of within you. This is what I mean when I say life. Life is not built upon the frameworks of the mind. The mind is miraculously held up by the frameworks of life. Okay? That statement, when you really know that statement, you will know everything worth knowing. The mind and everything in it, all your wildest dreams that, unfortunately most of us secretly think are too good to be true, every thought that's ever been had, everything, this is all an insignificant mote of dust, floating in the ocean of creation that lives inside of you beneath the noise of that very same mind. It's very, very important, very, very necessary, absolutely vital to organize the mind in a good way. I mean, you can't distort the mechanism through which life is trying to express. That's like having an unorganized mind or not appreciating the miracle of the mind is like, trying to grow a tree in soil that doesn't support it. Like, life is trying to express, yes, and the whole creation is there within you, yes, but it has to be able to express itself through an organized, stable, balanced system. So it's not that the mind is not important. It's very important, but it's just this one part of your physical system that is connecting you to this entire, unimaginable realm of experience. And it's, it's all connected. I'll stop there. I won't keep going. It'll get crazy. That's why I have these notes, to keep me on track. So I'm not telling you that your dreams are worth it or not worth it. I'm not making a claim on how good it gets and try to motivate you to get here where I am. This isn't a video of the cars in my driveway or whatever, while I brag about how accomplished I am and how amazing it is once you arrive. This is not that. This is me saying that your dreams, no matter how fantastic they are, no matter how wild and ambitious your vision, this is just an incredible, beautiful, precious, sacred perk of being a human being, and that you are missing out on the main gig. Okay? That's what I'm saying. How does that come up? So basically, we deny ourselves access to the magic of life. We lock ourselves out of heaven on earth because we are consumed with these unfulfilling desires, our limited notions of our dreams. And it's not that there's anything wrong with desire, anything wrong with dreams. It's just that we have not yet surrendered to the reality that fulfillment is a process that we must yield to. It is not something that we can hold. So if you can learn, if you can do the work and convince yourself to do the work and learn to align your system and organize your life in a certain way that that is aligned with life itself, you're going to experience the reality of a perpetual state of fulfillment that in each moment is going to transcend the pleasure of any attainment. Okay? There's no place in the creation that you can arrive into, nothing that you can acquire, that is worth one single moment in this never-ending unfoldment of the new world that is available to you and will come into your experience. This is where your real life begins. For it is so far beyond the horizon of your goals and dreams that you will catch sight of the true treasures, the real treasures that are available to you as a human being. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for being a part of this journey with me. I can't contain myself. It's too beautiful. It's too phenomenal. I'm too blessed. I don't have words for it. I love the process of doing this, of being able to really focus in on these different aspects of the human experience. And I do it, I experience so much joy doing it, because I'm kind of assuming that it's affecting you in some positive way. I don't actually know that to be true, but if it is, please let me know so I can continue my fantasy life here of unbelievable experiences and all this joy that I'm trying to share with you. So thank you for being here. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Please share this with everyone. I mean, we got to get the word out. Like, the time is now. People need to know this. Do people know this? No. Well, I can only tell so many. I need you to also help carry on the message. Please share this, you guys. Please, please, please. And of course, if you haven't been over to themanicserenity.com yet, please go over there and check out the resources available. A bunch of free stuff for you. The free courses I'm always talking about. You can also access them in the links that are in the description below for this video. So thank you so much, and I will see you next week.